Hello, hello. About to rock out with the reading on July 27th, 2026. I tried to do a reading yesterday. Honestly, it was a tough day mentally. My brain was not working, so I did not get a good reading. I'm not going to force it. I felt like I've been getting a lot of insights and wisdom when it comes to my readings. And so if I have a day that's not that great, I can live with it. We'll move on to the next. So here we go. Card number 1. Temperance. Number 2 position, immediate influence. We're looking at the King of Wands. Position 3, King of Swords. Position 4, we have the Hermit. Position 5, we have the King of Cups. Position 6, we have the Ten of Swords. Position 7, we have the Sun. Position 8, we have the Hanged Man. Position 9, 4 of Cups. Position 10, we have the 7 of Cups. So, right off of the bat, we got a pretty strong spread going. We have 4 major arcana cards. We have 3 king cards, which is pretty unique. And for our pip cards, we have 3 of those. It looks like in our present position and immediate influence, we have temperance, which honestly has to do with control, right? You are balancing the forces, you are balancing whatever dynamic opposition is happening. You're in a state of balancing it out. And it appears that we have the king here. We have the King of Wands in the center position, which has to do with knowledge. Same as up here. We have the King of Swords. So we have 3 king cards, which is very interesting, and a lot of major arcana cards. So right off the bat, we have a very strong reading for somebody that needs to learn a lesson. Get these all squared up for you guys. What I'm seeing here is this could be a group of friends. These could be business associates that are going here. Or what we could be dealing with is somebody who has to master aspects of themselves and mature into a king. We could see that coming into the future here, we're working towards a completion of something that may have us kind of overburdened, overwhelmed with the situation. How we see our cards is that there's going to be revelation and insight that we see with this Sun card. This is also illuminating the path and is going to bring everything to light that needs to be seen. Internally, what I'm starting to pick up on the cards here is that there could be a group of business partners, and maybe one of them, maybe the King of Wands, is coming in with too much passion. And really what these cards are demonstrating to us is that in order to complete this, right, because the Ten of Swords is can be overwhelming. So I'm getting that this person out of this group of people is very overwhelming to deal with. Maybe they have to kind of temper their approach to how they're dealing with the people and their associates in order to attain what it is they're trying to strive for with this Ten of Swords. I feel like this is a partnership. This is a collaboration. So we got to balance the forces of these three individuals that are involved in this. What we could see is up here in the conscious efforts being made, the King of Swords is a great guy to fall back on when it comes to coming up with ideas, strong logic, wisdom, and hopefully seeking the truth always. As we move down into the position 4, we have the Hermit. And to me, this is indicative of somebody who has to seek inner wisdom. And I don't know if this is really coming in. Again, I think this is collectively, I think these guys all need to retreat. This is a collaborative reading for multiple people. And what I'm seeing is that this Hermit is a guide for the group. There's somebody that they can confide in that's going to help them advance the situation so they can bring to completion what it is they're trying to attain. So I would tell this group of people to embrace the Hermit card collectively. And in doing so, they're going to be able to generate the ideas and follow through in a way that would make the Hermit proud. It seems like as we're moving into the past here and the assets that we have going for us is we have up until this point emotionally stayed in control. And that's what the King of Cups brings to the table. And so all three of these people in the spread have high degrees of knowledge and authority. And it's really a balancing of wills right now, is what we're seeing. And so in life, it's going to come down to that. It's going to come down to you're going to have your peers, you're going to have the people you're working with. How are you guys going to work together to bring what it is you want to attain to completion? And that's what we see with this 10 is this group is going to be tested. There is going to be internal strife marked by the swords. And so how are they going to get past this? It's through temperance. It's through balancing. They're all hoping that what it is they're striving for, they're going to attain. And that's what we see with the Sun card. And that's how they view their situation. How others see their situation is that this group of people is in a state of suspension. They kind of have themselves tied up right now amongst each other. And really the answer lies in this card here. Is we have the Four of Cups, which is an indication that maintaining stability throughout this is very important. Don't be so dissatisfied, right? There's one of these cups. There's something here that's going to work out. You guys have to work with each other to figure it out. As we go into the 10th card, adjustments that need to be made is, what we need is clarity. That's what we're seeing with the 7. The 7 really has to do, the 7 of Cups really has to do with imagination. And so maybe this is a chance for this group of people to use this opportunity to find a creative way and collaborate. Because a lot of times when people get stuck, right, a lot of times what we see with the swords is people have an idea in their head. They have a vision of exactly how they want things to be. I think what this 7 of Cups is offering to this group of people, it's saying, hey guys, between the 3 of you, you guys have a lot of knowledge and experience, but you cannot be fixated on the exact outcome of this situation. And so the remedy for all this is imagination. Let's explore options, and let's explore each avenue of those options and see if we could come up with something that's going to be modified in a way that is going to help maintain stability and equilibrium in this group of people. Because this group of people, they could see that the people around them are looking at this situation as not really going anywhere, because the people within this group are bickering with each other. It's going to take an internal wisdom of all of them to kind of recognize that when you're in a position of authority, sometimes it's not always a matter of doing what you want done. It's not a matter of imposing your will on others. But when we see elders, right, like the hermit who's a guide, there's a little bit of a softness. And you see this in people as they mature in life. They eventually get to a point where they're not so fixated on having things exactly their way. And they realize that if they are trying to transmutate a situation, sometimes being a little flexible, sometimes allowing other people to express themselves and kind of giving certain ideas that we have forgotten about or we don't want to hear about, giving those ideas a little bit of a credence. And it's with that we start to take away the strain and overwhelming feeling that we're seeing from this 10 of Swords. And so this 10 of Swords is an opportunity. It's exposing to us that this doesn't have to be an overwhelming situation. That if we could work together, if we can soften our approach and be mature enough to allow other people to speak, we can bring in temperance. Each and every single one of these people in this. And what we could do is we could start to alchemize this situation and build the stability that's necessary and come up with something fun. So the 3 cards that are actually speaking to me the most out of all this is we already have our characters in this situation, right, between the 3 kings. The three cards really, the most important card I'm going to say is the Hermit. And the Hermit is saying that, yes, temperance has a lot to do with not being so fixated on exactly with what you want and listening to others and sharing ideas back and forth and bringing a temperance, cooling down the temperature of the room a little bit, not running so hot, right, like the King of Wands. And out of this group of people, it appears that the King of Wands has a little bit more emphasis, which is in this number 2 position, the immediate influence. So really, there's, out of the group of out of the people within this group, the King of Wands, whoever feels like they may be wand energy, fiery, right? Maybe it's time to cool down the temperature of your willpower a little bit and allow these other people within your group to maybe bring in some creativity. And so these three cards in particularly is the remedy of this group. Is temperance is what everybody can demonstrate. Let's bring the temperature of the room down to a point that we could start to get the creative juices flowing again. And that's what we're seeing with the 7 is imagination. Let's re-spark our imagination. Let's hear other people out with the Hermit. And together, as a group, you guys are going to be able to transmutate the overwhelming sensation that not only every single one of you are feeling, but that everyone else around you is seeing. And once you guys are able to transmutate this, you're going to see your path brighten up, and you're going to see whatever it is you're working towards, that you're moving towards completion, is going to be illuminated in a way that is going to be wonderful. My battery is dying on this phone, so that's the gist of the reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, let imagination re-spark the group. It's going to re-spark the group in a way where it's going to free up everybody. And again, tap into your elders. People of this group, you all are strong people that have experience and knowledge. Don't be so fixated on exactly the way you want things done. You got to start bringing in the Hermit, the elder, the one that's going to be able to help you exercise temperance in this situation, and you guys are going to get through this situation. And this 10 of Swords is no longer going to be so overwhelming. It's going to turn into a 10 of Cups. That's the reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I wish everyone the best. Cheers.